There is a loneliness that has nothing to do with being physically alone. It is a deeper, denser loneliness that arises within the mind of those who dare to see what most pretend does not exist. It is the existential loneliness of the free thinker. Nietzsche knew well what this was. He lived practically his entire life in brutal isolation, both physical and intellectual. Not because he was a hermit by nature, but because each layer of truth he unveiled distanced him further from ordinary people. The free thinker gradually begins to inhabit a no-man's land, a place where their questions sound too uncomfortable. Their doubts are seen as threats, and their clarity is interpreted as arrogance or madness. Imagine living among people who are satisfied with simple answers, ready-made narratives, with the illusion that everything is under control. Now imagine realizing, with almost painful clarity, that all these certainties are nothing but fragile constructs, and that no one truly wants to discuss this. The loneliness of the thinker is not just the silence around them. It is the impossibility of finding an echo for their own questions. That is why Nietzsche spoke of the thinker as a free spirit, but also as someone condemned to misunderstanding. It is not that the thinker wants to isolate themselves. Often, they even long for connection. But how to connect when conversations always revolve around the same superficialities? How to pretend enthusiasm for the routine when one is contemplating the precariousness of all human values? This loneliness has devastating effects. First, it creates a deep sense of estrangement. It is like being outside a lit house, looking through the windows, seeing people laugh, talk, celebrate small victories, while you feel you live in a parallel universe. Then comes the fear of being wrong, the fear of having gone mad, the fear that all this clarity is nothing but delusion. But there is something even crueler. Even when the thinker tries to silence themselves, even when they decide to pretend normalcy, the world seems unwilling to leave them in peace. Small details of everyday life, banal conversations, careless comments, advertising slogans, everything seems to scream falsehood. The free thinker sees cracks everywhere. They can no longer unsee them. And that is where true exile arises, not physical, but psychic.